I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And today is Tuesday, so you guys already know what it is. It is going to be this week's power rankings. But before I get into this power ranking, make sure you guys are staying safe. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because about 60 to 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So go ahead right now and click that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you will not miss a video. But let's get into these rankings. First, we have the Washington football team. We're going to put them at a D. They did look a little bit better this week, albeit against the horrible Cowboys defense. They really looked good this week, and I'm still not a big believer in this football team, to be honest with you, but they did play a whole lot better this week than I expected them to. The defensive line has looked a lot better as well, so I'm going to put Washington there. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers coming off a big win over the Patriots. I'm going to put them at a B, because just for the simple fact of they're still dealing with a lot of injuries, but at the same time, this team is still finding ways to win games as of late. 2 big victories last week over the Rams and this week over the Patriots. The running game, no matter who the running back is still very solid, and Warner has to be one of the most underrated linebackers in the game of football. But next, we have the Bears. I don't want to spend too much time on them. Offense is god-awful. This team has been carried by the defense most of the year, and when the offense has needed to show up, in most cases, they have failed. Last night proved it. Matt Nagy, I've been saying on this channel, I haven't been a fan of his play calling nor his play design, so I don't even want to spend too much time on the Bears. I'm still irritated from last night's debacle. But next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to put them at a D. I can't put this team at an F. This team plays way too hard to be a F type of team. This team plays extremely hard. I like what I'm seeing from Joe Burrow. They just have to find ways to win those close games. They've been in a lot of close games this year and unfortunately have came up short. But I start to feel once they figure things out, this team will be solid going forward. But I'm not going to put this team below this D because of their effort, because of the way they are able to move the ball offensively. And the defense has been playing okay. It's just I cannot put this team below a D. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills, who have not looked very good the last couple of weeks. I'm still going to have this Buffalo Bills team, I want to say, at a B. I can't put them at an A because of the way the offense wasn't able to put up points against a lowly Jets team. And they've been struggling the last couple of weeks with losses to Tennessee, Kansas City, and the way the offense looked against the lowly Jets. They're still the top of the AFC East, which I predicted them to win. But the way the offense has looked the last couple of weeks, Josh Allen has been inaccurate, and they've been struggling to score points these past few weeks. Next, the Denver Broncos. This team is riddled by injuries. This defense is, outside of Bradley Chubb, has not been very good. And Drew Lock struggled big time Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. So this Broncos team, I'm going to have them at an F. This Cleveland Browns team is next. I'm going to have them at a B. What a win for them this past week against Cincinnati. Baker Mayfield struggled to start off, but came after that red hot. So this offense is very good. They do lose Odell Beckham Jr. to a torn ACL, but I still feel that this team is a very, very good football team, a very, very competitive football team. They do need to clean up some things on the defensive side of the ball. Myles Garrett has been one of the best pass rushers this season so far. He's leading the league in sacks. So this Cleveland Browns team is a very, very good football team. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to put them, the way they've been playing lately, I hate to do it, but I'm going to put him at an A. Tom Brady is really starting to find his form. Offensively, they have really found some weapons. They have really been moving the football very, very well. Godwin has been playing well. The running game and Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette has been a big factor. The defense has surprised me and has been better than I expected it this season. So the last couple of games, this Buccaneers team is finally finding some rhythm, and Brady and Gronk are getting that old Patriot rhythm back. So I'm going to put this team at an A. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to put them at a B. Kyler Murray looked very good last night. I said last night. Sunday night against Seattle. The defense came up and made a big play. Isaiah Simmons finally stepped up and made a big play when it was needed. DeAndre Hopkins is the biggest steal for them. This offense has finally found some rhythm in the running game with Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds. So I really like how this offense really moves the football. I really like how this Arizona Cardinals team has been playing the past couple of weeks. Next, we have the LA Chargers. I'm going to put them at a C. Justin Herbert is looking like the real deal at the quarterback position. He is looking very, very good. The defense still has some holes to be questioned. A lot of those are through injuries. Melvin Ingram was in and out of the lineup. Joey Bosa has been in and out of the lineup. But as far as offensively, Justin Herbert is finally starting to find his own. The running game has been spotty, but I think that will be better once Austin Eckler gets back. So I'm going to have the Chargers at a C. The Chiefs I'm going to have at an A. It looked very, very good again. Patrick Mahomes, people don't talk about it much. He did not have the best of games against the Broncos, but the defense and the special teams stepped up and made plays. So this Chiefs team have a lot of ways to beat you. Mahomes did not have his best game against the Broncos, and his team was still able to put up over 30 points. So I think this team is very dynamic. All three phases of the ball can change the game for this Chiefs team. So I'm going to have them at an A. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to put them at a C. They're coming off a bye week last week. But coming into the bye week, this team has been not necessarily playing very well, mainly on the offensive side of the ball. Phillip Rivers has had his struggles, ups and downs. But this team is still very competitive. The defense is still very good to me. Despite how they looked against Cincinnati in their last game, I'm going to put them at a C. Next, the Dallas Cowboys, F. This team has been horrible the past 2 weeks. Horrible. Arizona Cardinals and the Washington football team made this team look like pedestrians. They're on a third-string quarterback, and the defense is one of the worst I've ever seen. And it's so many problems in Dallas. It is hard to watch the Dallas football team. It really is. I honestly feel sorry for their fans. I honestly do. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to put them at a C. It was kind of strange that they made the quarterback change. They're also coming off a bye week as well. But it's strange to make a quarterback change at this point, especially the way Ryan Fitzpatrick has been playing. And this team has been solid. But so far, this Dolphins team has been a bit surprising to me. So I'm going to put them at a C. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming off a win against the Giants on Thursday night. I'm going to put them at a D. But this team is riddled by injuries offensively. And if it wasn't for the Giants making mistakes, they could have easily lost this football game. They could have easily lost that football game against the New York Giants. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They just find ways to lose football games. This Falcons team just finds ways to lose games. They just do. And to blame Todd Gurley, he made a mistake for that, yes, but the defense wasn't able to stop the Lions from getting it out of the end zone. So don't take away all the don't put so much of all the blame on Todd Gurley. The defense had to make a play too, and they didn't. And they haven't been for the most part this season. Next is the Giants. The funny Daniel Jones tripping explains their season. Just right when they think they have things going, they fall. They had a good lead against the Eagles and let that slip away. This team, it's hard. It is really hard to watch the Giants team too. They still have a lot of room to grow. Saquon being out has hurt the running game because it's not been able to be established since the injury to Saquon. So I'm going to have the Giants in the F. The Jaguars I'm also going to have at an F. They get in their own way as well. They make too many mistakes. Gardner Minshew has looked a little bit better than I expected him to be, but he's still not the guy for me. I'm definitely not sold on this Jaguars defense. Along with the Cowboys, has been one of the bad defenses in the NFL though so far this season. Despite this next team I'm going to put at an F is the New York Jets. I think the Jets are just the worst ran organization in football. They're the worst team in football. Offense has not been very good. They've been sputtered. The defense, this Jets team is just awful. Next, we have the Detroit Lions. Going to put them at a D. I've been saying all year, Matthew Stafford is the most underrated quarterback in football. So, his comeback game against the Atlanta Falcons proved that he's a quarterback that can win football games. This Lions team just doesn't have a lot around them, especially on the defensive side of the ball where they were brought into Jeff Okudah and you brought in Flowers and guys like that, and this defense has not been very good. I'm not going to count the Falcons because the Falcons just find ways to lose football games, but this Lions team, offensively, it can move the football. Matthew Stafford is very underrated, but this defense needs work. Next, I'm going to say the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to put them at an A, as much as it pains me to do it. What a bounce-back game from Aaron Rodgers in that offense. Defense played very well against the Houston Texans. They're one of the better offenses in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is starting to look like his old self. Aaron Jones has played solid. But I'm going to move on from praising Packers. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers coming off a loss to the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to put them in a C. I just think that this Panthers team was still really looking for some rhythm defensively. The offense is very, very solid and can score points. It's just this defense hasn't been able to keep the offense in games because I just think this defense is not the best defense. And I think teams are starting to take advantage of their defense. Carolina's offense with Mike Davis running the football, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and the way Teddy Bridgewater has looked has been very solid. I just think their problems lie on the defensive side of the ball. Next, we have the New England Patriots. I'm also going to put them at a C. I think this team is just, I think they're missing a lot of the pieces defensively, whether they've been opting out due to the virus or Stephon Gilmore catching it. And to me, Cam Newton has not looked the same since his positive test. I know he's came out and said that's not a factor. He has not played well to begin with, but I just feel he looks a lot different since he came back from the positive test. They haven't been able to practice much due to the positive test without the building. So this team, I'm going to have it at a C. I could have easily put it at a D, but I just think the lack of practice time has been hurting this football team. Next, we're going to have the Raiders. I'm going to put them at a C as well. They looked very good against the Buccaneers offensively, but the Raiders' problem has been defensively so far this year. The offense with Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and Nelson Aguilar and Josh Jacobs has been playing very, very well. Henry Ruggs has been very, very good for this football team. Offensively, this Raiders team has it. But I feel like the Panthers, a lot of their problems are on the defensive side of the ball and stopping people from getting in the end zone. This Raiders team is a contender for a playoff spot, but I think their defense has to step up more. Next, we have the LA Rams. We seen last night what this offense can do, especially against a very, very good Bears defense. we seen what this LA Rams team could do offensively. And Aaron Donald is one of the more, let's just say, brick wall forces, irresistible forces in the NFL. And the special teams with punty Johnny Hekker is very, very underrated part of a football game, but his punting changed the game last night. Jared Goff looks solid. The running game looks solid. And this defense, it was better than what I expected it. The Bears had a hard time stopping this front four, even though the Bears have one of the worst offensive lines in football. But this LA Rams team proved that they're a very good football team and they're to be reckoned with. Next, we're going to have the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to put them at an A. They have a tough test against the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Lamar. I'm liking what I'm seeing for this defense, flying around the football, playing hard. So I'm going to put the Ravens at an A. But they do have a tough test this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next, we're going to have the New Orleans Saints. I'm also going to put them at a B. The only thing that worries me about the Saints is this red zone defense and them being able to slow people down. I like the way that this offense is starting to finally find some rhythm. Hopefully they get Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders back this week. But I feel that this New Orleans Saints offense can score with the best of them. But I feel the defense has to step up a little bit more. They have the pieces around to do so. I just think they need to play a little bit better for this team to be a very, very, I think just to move up into the A category, the defense has to play a little bit better. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to leave them at an A for now. But I think some mistakes really cost this team the game against the Arizona Cardinals. Russell Wilson in those turnovers really hurt. But I still feel that the Seattle football team is a very good football team. The defense can use some work. Yes, this defense can use some work. But the offense has been scoring so many points with Russell Wilson being so hot and one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. So even though despite the loss, I still have this Seattle Seahawks team at an A tier. Still a very good football team, but they do have some things to clean up on the defensive side of the ball. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I think is the best team in football right now. They are the most complete. They are the best team in football right now. Offense is clicking. Defense is finding some rhythm. The second half did not probe well for them, but they were still able to pull out the win over the Titans. But the Steelers dominated that first half against the Titans. They dominated that first half. I still think this Pittsburgh Steelers team is a very good football team, and they are the best football team in the league right now, and they're also the most complete football team in the NFL right now. Next, we have the Houston Texans. I hate to put them there, but this defense is not very good right now. And Deshaun Watson has too much of the game put on his shoulders when weapons like Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks have not been consistent. They haven't really found much of a consistent running game from David Johnson. I still think trading DeAndre Hopkins has been costly to this football team. Very, very costly to this football team. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to put them at a B. They did look good in their second half, but I just feel when this team isn't able to run the football like they want, they struggle. And Ryan Tannehill did make some plays, but I just feel the physical brand of football, I really love it. But they have to take more shots in the passing game, I feel. Running game is excellent, but I just feel when they're able to run the football, this team has a hard time moving the football. They're still a very good football team. The defense has some holes that was left open by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm going to have the Tennessee Titans at a B. And last but not least, you have the Minnesota Vikings. They also had a bye. Like I said, I've not been a fan of Kirk Cousins. I'm not really a fan of the way this offense is. I'm not really a fan of this Minnesota Vikings team going forward. The defense is missing a lot of pieces. They just traded Yannick Ngakoue, so that takes another piece out of their pass rush. So this Vikings team can be in some trouble as well. But that's all I've got for you guys. Be sure to like the video, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel because we are so close to that 1,000 subscriber grind. And I would not be at this spot right now without the love and support of you guys. But that's all I've got. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys have a great next day. Stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. I wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.